'Cause I will rise, you can't hold me down. Watch me unfold, I'll keep it strong. And I won't hide, I will live it loud. Through highs and the lows, I won't let go. Undeniable.
All right, welcome back, or welcome to, sorry, the birds. If you can hear the birds, that's cute, but welcome back to my channel, our channel, My Little Life. It makes it sound like that's the title of this. This is not a little life we've lived. This is a big old one full of all kinds of twists and turns. So today is currently August 24th. I just got a little bzz because it was reminding me of a meeting I have in half an hour for my new job. So I accepted a contract with Showdown for a marketing content manager position. I've been chatting with them for the past couple weeks, but kind of was going in between. I think it was like I started talking to them right before I went up to Virginia for this last trip, and then came right back down, met with them, had a little dinner session kind of thing, and it was great. I really vibe with the team is really why I was picking that position. I kept feeling like two things actually. One, I've always wanted to be in the Atlanta Tech Village, and their tech company is based out of there, and I just kept getting drawn to the Showdown Social. I kept seeing Showdown Social on Indeed, and I'd be like, what is this thing? And I think that that's where I kept saying to them, I was like, nobody knows what you are. That's half the battle, right? So I will hopefully get the opportunity over the next couple months to show who Showdown is, and it's gonna be pretty cool. I have a lot of great ideas, but yeah, today is like a transfer of data, so we're gonna go jump on this call, and yeah, I'm very excited, but just funny because it's like another job. Yes, girl. And again, it's a contract, so it's like I still have the ability hopefully to go to QSRE on Tuesday. I think it's September 2nd. Like I was getting nervous about like what my work week was gonna look like, but because I'm kind of, you know, providing them a service like I am, I should be able to like build my schedule the way I want. So still looking forward to attending that with Gleam, because I like made this testimonial video, which I still need to, I'm gonna try to edit it one more time. It's like not perfect, and I'm gonna do that final edit. Hopefully that wins me an opportunity to go to the actual conference, because I just love going to those things. I'll have the Showdown stuff, and then I'll still obviously help the wafer out when I can. Just got off the phone with Rob. He's doing great up there. So that plus buying land and hopefully starting a coffee trailer by next fall. Your girl's got a lot on her dream to-do list slash bucket list, so let's get at it. I just wanted to come on here because I haven't really chatted out like what the changes have been. Because of the length of tenure, I think this is like my biggest contract to date that I've like officially submitted and returned an acceptance from, so I kind of love that. So yeah, just excited, because especially like even if I didn't renew, or if I didn't become a fully team member of the company, which I still think we will, like we have like, I have like a 3-year plan with them mentally. Even if I didn't, those 90 days would just be like perfect. So it's just kind of like a good time. Like, I don't know. I just, everything feels good right now. Still been doing my little travels, still been out there. I have to edit the DeLongnaga stuff still. it's hard because I want to do E for Ella J, and so I've like kind of been slow to like edit other things because I'm not at the E that I want to be at yet, and so like I'm not in a rush to get to F. Between that, like Tallulah Gorge, I have plenty to edit. I have to edit the Red Volkert thing too. So I'm gonna get on this call, maybe have a little cup of tea, and then maybe I'll have the energy to edit maybe later tonight or tomorrow again, because it's like oh my god, I still gotta finish. So much to edit. I watched Ma. Sometimes I don't get an opportunity to watch the movie before I edit Kai's movie review, but this time it kind of worked out, and I don't really love a thriller before bed, and I did it anyways. I regret it. So we'll talk about that at some point too. Maybe this will all get cut into the right one, but I have another one that she suggested, and I'm like, oh goodness, should I watch that one too? We'll see. But stay cool, stay you, stay hydrated, and let's get the rest of this year closed out in a really positive, strong way. Finish strong. Now it's time to head to the movies with our cinematic crusader. Here with another titanium take, here's our movie Maven Kai.
Well, hey there everybody, it is I, your movie Maven Kai, and oh did I have a weekend. I decided to go visit my boyfriend in Las Vegas, and I took Jude with me, my 12-year-old, and great weekend, had a blast. I was about 15 miles out of Vegas on my way home, and my brand new car died. I have a BZ4X Toyota EV, fully electric, love it. I've had it for very nearly a year, and it just decided that it did not want to car anymore. So, called a tow truck. They got there in about an hour. It was 115. We're stuck on the side of the road. My boyfriend, being the superhero that he is, came and allowed us to sit in his car with the lovely air conditioning while we waited. But we ended up getting the car over to Toyota of Las Vegas 5 minutes before the service department closed. So stayed an extra night, hung out. They have no idea what's wrong with the car. That was Tuesday. I am recording this on the following Sunday. Still don't know what's wrong with my car. I'm in a rental. They got me home, thank God. Jude missed his first day of junior high. It's been a week, guys. It's been a week. So in order to kind of, wash all that off, Jude found this, what we thought originally was going to be like a horror movie. I don't even know what service we were on. I think it was Peacock, called We're All Going to the World's Fair. I don't even know how to describe this movie. Interesting. Kind of. So if you've not seen it, it is a movie about a girl who sees this challenge, this online challenge called We're All Going to the World's Fair, and it's based off of an old video game, like 8-bit video game that, ports into, all the new ones. And the challenge is you say, we're all going to the World's Fair, or I want to go to the World's Fair 3 times. You prick your finger, you smear the blood across the, the screen, and you watch a video. So it's got the elements of, urban legends and, creepypasta and, all of that stuff. And basically she's going to continue to make videos to show if there are any changes. There's a couple of clips of other people who have done this that are, it's very supernatural. It's very, paranormal activity, in pieces here and there, but there's no real absolution. There's no real this is what this is. You're kind of going, is this person just kind of doing these weird things for, attention because she's got this YouTube page? Is it clicks and likes? Is there stuff actually happening? Is this kind of, what people are doing, again, for other clicks and likes, where you see a lot of those online challenges, where they kind of go. And there's no ending. It just kind of stops. The storytelling just kind of stops. So here's my issue with movies like this. It's a small independent movie, small independent house. They had the right pieces, and this is where it's aggravating. You had the right pieces. You took absolutely no time or want to flesh that out. So you have your main character that, has decided to do this, and, she's kind of feeling odd, and there's a few, weird things that happen. And then you've got this person that is, she's probably like 14 or 15. You've got this, dude who you're going, he's like super obsessed with this chick, watching all of her videos. He's like in his 40s. Is this a pedophile thing? Is this somebody who is truly like worried about this person? Why isn't he reaching out to other people who have done this challenge? Why is he just watching her? It's a very strange, kind of, reality. And I ended up looking up some Reddits that were talking about this movie. And they're saying what it really is a social commentary on the generation that is obsessed with online presence, how isolating that can be, and how, you don't really know, again, if this person is doing this for some kind of attention, because they never really talk about her family or who's there for her. You see her alone a lot, but you don't really see like people being exclusion, like the exclusion of groups. You don't really see her interact with a lot of people. There's no character development. You don't really care about this girl. There's a scene that happens where you just kind of go like, whatever, like I don't even care about this person anymore. If this is something that's, happening and is weird and, all of that, then good at this point. But, and then you never really know what's happening with this other guy, why he's so isolated, but if it is a commentary, on the way that we live in, the land of social media, even there, it's severely lacking, because it takes, this one part of that idea and, kind of runs with it with no explanation. Had they showed doxing or online bullying or whatever, and this is, the one thing where, she gets that positive attention, that social positive, due to her actions, like you would have a better understanding that, this is why she's doing these things. If you had the comments of people going like, oh my gosh, this weird thing just happened, it's just this one person, so I don't know if that's supposed to, kind of dive more into the whole like isolation thing, but it was disappointing at best. And it really does, when you pull up the info on the streaming service, it looks like a horror movie. It looks like it's something that's going to be, kind of creepy and weird and everything. And really all it is, just kind of a day in the life. It's, watching as if somebody were like a Twitch streamer, putting this, piece of their life out there. But it begs the interesting question that a lot of people, talk about when it comes to social media. You are usually looking at a very cultivated thing when it comes to social media. You're looking at a person's best of the best so that they can feel better about themselves, and they get that reinforcement of, oh, you're doing so great, your life is so great. Maybe you have people who are, jealous of the things that you get to do, or, whatever. Or, here's what people do for that attention. They make it, it's poor mouthing, you make it so that your life looks worse than it is, so that you have people, oh my gosh, it's okay, it's hard and we're here for you and all of that, but there's no interaction with those people, but yeah, so it's an interesting attempt at trying to, have some kind of social commentary on, that lifestyle of social media. And it's funny that, it was made, I want to say in 2023. It's funny seeing everything kind of happening now, where you have people talking about like the loneliness epidemic, where, people, specifically you have the kids who were born during pandemic, are now, going to school. They didn't have the same, socialization and expectation and experience that a lot of people do. So now them going to school, it's a difficult transition to make, you know, if they didn't have, you know, preschool, you know, situation. And a lot of people don't. Preschool is, you know, becoming increasingly more expensive. You have much smaller classes at the younger grades because you had a lot of people. We're in a dip, in population dip, you know, where there aren't as many people being born, so you have these smaller classes. And I mean, that's great. I think it's, you know, important to have a more, you know, not isolated, you have a more individualized experience, you know, where you can have those 2 or 3 kids over here doing something and these 2 or 3 kids over here doing something, and they're also kind of working together, but they get a lot more attention from, you know, the teacher, the TAs, the parents in the room, and all of that, so that they, you know, can have you know, a better experience. That's definitely something that we've been, you know, fighting for years, is, you know, smaller classrooms and more classrooms and you know, highly qualified teachers, etc. But, you know, going back to the you know, the loneliness pandemic, or the loneliness epidemic, people often isolate themselves when they feel like they are not going to be accepted. It's that overthinking of, you know, well, people will think I'm weird if, well, people will think I'm, you know, strange if, well, people won't like the fact that I like this, oh, isn't this weird? Because everything that they have consumed socially has been, you know, identified or, you know, touched upon within an internet environment. And it was funny, I was talking to my brother just today about how schools, churches, a lot of community groups find it easier to have people conform rather than to teach them to accept. And it's something that I deal with a lot with my clients, being, you know, a behavior therapist, where you have these kids that, you know, have quirks and they automatically go, oh, they must be on the spectrum. Oh, they must have something wrong with them. Oh, there's something that, you know, we have to pinpoint and fix. And a lot of times it's just, no, these kids are quirky. These kids are accepting of themselves being kind of weird. And that's great, you know, and that's not saying that, you know, people aren't on the spectrum. That's not saying that, you know, there aren't things that should be addressed so that they can lead a fruitful life. You know, you do need to have an understanding of how to socialize, how to carry on conversations, how to structure your schedule to be successful in scholastic environments. I have a master's degree. And make sure that, you know, you can, you know, keep yourself afloat. You know, everyone's having to work so hard just to, you know, make ends meet. And, you know, I think everybody can really, you know, benefit from things that will, you know, help them do that. And some people just need a little bit more help. And that doesn't mean that, you know, there's anything wrong with them. But again, when you have a lot of people online going, you know, you have ADHD if, and it's like, well, no, a lot of people have that experience. You know, it's, you know, something that we can't rely on, you know, the internet psychologists, the, you know, the Facebook and the Instagram and the TikTok doctors to tell us this is something that, you know, you need to look out for. People are going to think you're weird. It's like, let them think you're weird. And then find the people who dig you're weird. And find the people who are weird the way that you are. Those are your people. And I feel like we used to be able to do that. I feel like that was something that we used to be very good at, you know. People would call them cliques, and they'd call them, you know, friend groups. They'd call them, you know, different things. But that's really all it is. You know, you're finding those people who match, you know, whatever energy it is that you're putting out, or at least appreciate the energy that you're putting out. And they're accepting of you. You cannot and will not be liked by everybody. It can feel like that sometimes, you know. I feel like that a lot, where it's just like, God, why do these people like, you know, dig what I'm into? But then I realize, like, I'm into a lot of things. And a lot of the stuff that, you know, I've been into for a long time is now popular. Comic books, emo music, you know, everything. It's like, you know, this would have gotten me beaten up in high school, and now, you know, everybody's like, everything is, you know, so cool, and, you know, you have knowledge about that, so that's great, and you're so cool. And it's just like, stop trying to be cool and accepted and liked by everyone. And it's different being liked by everyone. That's great, you know, if you know, you're non-offensive, you know, unproblematic, you know, is the term these days. But understand too, like, you can absolutely be friendly to people without being friends with them. And that's okay. You don't have to be friends with everyone. You don't have to be liked by everyone. And if you are so concerned about that being it, I really find in my experience, in my study, in my work, that that is what people are seeing as the loneliness epidemic, is that people are self-isolating because they feel like they're not going to be accepted. And so they, you know, sabotage themselves. They don't set themselves up for success, to be confident. And honestly, guys, the best thing that you can be is confidence. Be confident in the things that you like. Be confident in yourself. And it's such a big ask because trust me, I'm the worst with it. I put on a very great air of confidence because there's a lot of things that I know, a lot of things that I love, and a lot of hills that I will die on. But, you know, I'm also very aware that, you know, not everybody's going to be into that. That's okay. I'm not going to judge other people for that, and I'm not going to allow them to judge me for it. You know, if they don't want, you know, my time, energy, and effort, I'm not going to pour into their cup. All of those things that we say in therapy and, you know, all of the things that you hear over and over again, you know, it's not worth it. It's not worth your time. You can and will find those people that love you for who you are, and you can and will find the things that you love about yourself, as long as you don't let the energy and the attitudes from the people that don't matter ruin it for you. Guys, I've had a really rough weekend. I've had a rough week. It's gonna be a rough week going forward until they figure out what's wrong with my car. But I'm getting through it. You know, it's one of those things where there's you know, a solution being had right now. I have a rental. I can still go to work. I can still pay my bills. I can still, you know, transport my kiddos where they need to be transported. And that's all that matters. So that's what we're focusing on. We're taking a deep breath. We are drinking our water. We're taking our meds. And we're right here with you. We'll see you again soon. Take care, guys.
Things are really coming up for us.